Hi, it's Carol Morrock. Welcome to Aging Matters. My special guest is Scott Cheben with Senior Providers Network and CaregivingAnswers.com. Scott is also a member of the Aging Council with SeniorCare.com as well. So, Scott, since you provide a service for family caregivers, giving answers on elder care concerns, I thought this might be a perfect venue just prior to the holidays to suggest to our audience, what exactly to look for when visiting an aging relative to make sure that they are safe and they can remain independent at home.
Right, right. It like you said, exactly it. It's that time of year where we go home and visit our loved ones that we may not have only seen maybe once or twice a year, and it's a good opportunity to take it all in and see exactly how they're doing. And a lot of times, I tell people to go in with their eyes wide open, to really look around. For instance, my dad, when I went home to visit, he was starting to shuffle his feet. And I noticed that there was a lot of loose carpeting that was around, which when he shuffles his feet could tangle up and ideally, he could end up falling. So there are things to really look for besides that. You want to look at how the laundry is, how they're living, stocks of food, if there's anything in the refrigerator that's spoiling. I mean, these are really signs that kind of tell you that there's maybe other things that are going on. Odors is a big thing. When you walk in and you can kind of smell that odor. Maybe it's not the cat box. These are things you really want to look at. So it's important to keep your eyes and all your senses open when you go home and you kind of see signs of maybe things are not going in as good as you thought that they were going when you talk to them on the phone.
Well, I love the story that you told me just prior to the call that you asked your dad to take you for a ride in his new truck. And I think that's a splendid way to get your aging relative or to, test their driving skills, so that they don't become offensive. Because many times I remember my own dad when I was saying, uh, Dad, I really'd like to learn how you're driving your car. He's like, what? I'm doing fine. Thank you very much.
Right.
But I like your approach. So if you wanted to share that in just a
Sure.
minute or two with our audience, but I love how your approach with your dad.
Right. Well, of course I talk to dad a lot and, dad's always, well, everything's fine. Everything's great. So when I got there, I was a little concerned. He's getting up there near 90 and, it's that driving. He's still good. But I asked him to take me out in his new truck. And of course, he handed me the keys. And I said, well, I really want to get the passenger perspective. Just let me see what it's like over here so I can kind of take in the scenery because I'm always driving. And he drove, and we were just going to Walmart. And I noticed that we weren't getting there the fastest route. And we were taking all these back roads. And I asked him, I says, why are we not going on the highway? He goes, I can't drive on there anymore. It scares me. And now I would have never known that because he would have never, been open about that kind of driving until we got in the car. And then when we got there, we did our little shopping. And the more we talked, he figured it out. He goes, you were testing me, weren't you? And I said, well, Dad, I'm just a concerned son. And you did very well. So you passed. So he threw me the keys. He goes, you're driving home.
Well, good job. I think that was a great approach because, our parents and other relatives, become defensive because they fear of losing their own independence. And I totally get it, so
Yeah.
I love that approach. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Scott, again for your great wisdom. And audience, if you know of family caregivers or other caregivers in your lives that may find these tips useful, please share, like, and subscribe. And also tell them to head over to caregivinganswers.com. Thank you.